Look at these two brain scans. One belongs to someone who just suffered a severe physical trauma, like a broken bone. The other is from someone who recently experienced a sudden romantic rejection. The same regions light up in bright red: the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex and the anterior insula. If you break a leg, society recognizes the injury, and you receive urgent medical care. But if a relationship ends, the common expectation is to simply get over it, because the pain is treated as a secondary, invisible experience. Human emotion is a massive, measurable biological event. It functions through a dense network of firing pathways that react to social stimuli with the same intensity as physical impact. Falling in love, grieving, or burning out reconfigures reward systems, rewires network connectivity, and, in extreme cases, shifts the density of gray matter. Take the onset of romantic love. This state reworks the brain's core priorities, turning the reward system into a specialized circuit for a single person. Dopamine floods the system to create a euphoria that mirrors the effects of cocaine, while oxytocin builds a biological foundation for trust and bonding. Serotonin levels in newly infatuated people resemble those found in clinical OCD patients. This explains why early love feels all-consuming. The brain is chemically fixated. When that relationship ends, the brain enters a neurochemical vacuum. The dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin that defined your daily stability crash off a cliff, leaving behind chaotic and unpredictable fluctuations. Romantic rejection triggers reward pathways identical to those activated during drug withdrawal. Your system actively craves the lost chemical cocktail, despite logic. Because partners regulate each other's nervous systems, the loss of that connection causes a collapse. The body shifts into a survival state, either the high-alert panic of the sympathetic nervous system or the total exhaustion of the parasympathetic. Acute chemical withdrawal eventually transitions into chronic states that reorganize the brain's long-term infrastructure. Loneliness disrupts 6 core functional systems, from attention regulation to self-referential processing. This functional disconnectivity increases the risk of cognitive decline and all-cause mortality. In prolonged grief disorder, the brain's threat detection system, the Salience network, becomes abnormally fused with the self-referential system. This fusion traps the person in a hyper-vigilant loop, driven by a hyperactive amygdala, feeding a constant stream of distress signals into that locked connection. Chronic loneliness and grief are large-scale network disruptions. They change how the brain filters sensory information and processes the outside world. Chronic stress is often dismissed with the phrase, "You're just tired." A 2025 MRI review of 1,300 participants proved the toll of burnout is more than simple fatigue. In 880 clinical cases, researchers found objective anatomical changes. The prefrontal cortex, handling rational thought, loses gray matter, while the amygdala enlarges, making the brain hyper-reactive to stress. This damage fragments the rich club networks that allow different brain regions to communicate efficiently. The result is a global decline in processing power and emotional regulation. Burnout satisfies objective disease criteria. It is a hardware failure caused by systemic overload, not a weakness of character. Because the brain adapts to pain by repatterning its circuits, those same circuits can be repatterned toward recovery. Music-evoked nostalgia serves as a neural reset for this recovery, enhancing connection strength and efficiency in the alpha and gamma bands. By activating reward, memory, and self-referential networks simultaneously, nostalgia triggers positive emotional states that assist in cognitive processing. It offers a targeted way to regulate mood through specific neural pathways. The brain remains plastic. Research shows that even the cortical thinning seen in burnout can be partially reversed through exercise, mindfulness, and cognitive behavioral therapy. Understanding our neurochemistry allows us to separate who we are from what our brain is doing in a moment of crisis. Emotional suffering is a biological reality, and identifying it as such is the first step towards actual repair.